Hi folks, welcome back to Sherman's Showroom Kitchen. I'm not Tori.
I am.
I'm Raylene, and Tori has a certificate in culinary arts. She is the cook and the baker in our family. I am not, so why am I here?
She's going to be decorating a cake for us today. Our 105th anniversary is on Friday, and so we're going to be baking for that. Her qualifications are, our mom made a couple of wedding cakes back in the 90s.
So we have some piping tips, and that's about the extent of our qualifications here. Hopefully it'll turn out good though. And I mean, even if it looks bad, I have confidence it'll taste good. So we're gonna have some fun, and hopefully we have some cake to show for it at the end. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of her way and let her start cooking.
Flour is our first ingredient, so let's get started. This is a nice recipe because it's just all dry ingredients and then all your wet ingredients. I'm doing 4.5 of these. And I'm using this one because the measuring cup is too big to fit in there and I don't have a good way to pour it out. Baking powder, baking soda, and salt will be next. Clabber Girl baking powder is very nice because it does not clump. It's all nice and sifted. But baking soda always has clumps, so that's why I have my little sifter here. It's 1.5 teaspoons, which would be 2 3/4 teaspoons. Sounds about right. Half. 1. Okay, and then I need 1/2 teaspoon of salt because the recipe says to half the salt if you are using like more than table salt. We'll call it good. That's 1/4. And that's 1/2. How much is espresso powder? Teaspoon, so that would be 1.5 teaspoons. I wonder how an instant espresso actually is. We should try it. We were up until 2 in the morning. We could use it.
Why were we up until 2?
A mix of buttercream shenanigans and scurrying to find pans and products and things that we needed. It's pretty good. And that's it for our dry ingredients. So we're going to turn the mixer on to low, get those all mixed up, and then we'll start on our wet ingredients. Next, we're gonna do all of our wet ingredients. So we have our milk, oil, eggs, and then it does call for boiling water, but that's what we're gonna add in last. Okay, let's carefully add in our boiling water. That is just about the runniest cake batter I have ever seen. Okay, so we need to prepare our pans and preheat the oven to 350. So we're gonna get that started now. Now we're gonna pour the batter into the pans and get them baking. Now we're gonna bake these in the oven at 350 until the toothpick comes out clean. It should be around 30 minutes. While my cakes were baking, I got some ingredients out in preparation of our vanilla cake. So I have my milk, eggs, and butter coming to room temperature so that they'll just work better, mix nicely with the rest of the ingredients for the vanilla cake. Now it's time to get our chocolate cakes out of their pans. Let's hope this goes well. It's warm. For the top tier of our cake, we're going to be having vanilla, but we're going to try something new. We're going to do a live stream Hopefully it goes well. Maybe we can grab some footage from that. But if we can't, then you'll see us when our cake is done. Hello, nobody that is watching.
Hello to anybody who will be watching in the future.
Yes. We already made our chocolate cake. It's cooling in front of us right now. Right now we are making a vanilla cake, but I don't have the flour that I'm supposed to use for it. So we're doing a cornstarch flour mix to try to give it a better texture. All right, we got our flour done. So now we can put that in our stand mixer and move on to the sugar. Well, it's past closing time now, but our vanilla oh no, I said vanilla. Vanilla! Well, it's past closing time now, but the vanilla tier of our cake is done, so we're gonna get those out of their pans. It feels nice and spongy, and these pans are still really hot. If I seem distracted, Raylene is putting up decorations for the anniversary, so it'll look all nice on Friday. Ooh, it looks good inside. A little bit of the side came off. Now those get to cool. Last night I prepared some Swiss meringue buttercream. It filled up 2 gallon size bags. So we're gonna re-whip that and start getting it colored. Okay, so we have our buttercream all re-whipped. Raylene's gonna take it from here and start piping.
All right, so here's the game plan. Now that we have our buttercream re-whipped, first thing we've got to do is color it. We're gonna have 3 or 4 different colors on this cake. So the inspiration for our cake is going to be a bit of a play on words. Whenever you decorate a cake, it's called piping. And so we're going to use colors inspired by PEX piping, which is the more commonly used plumbing pipe that we have today. It's a pretty distinctive red and blue. So we're gonna try and make it look like we have PEX pipes going all around the cake. But the base is gonna be a light blue, so I'm gonna separate this off into a few different sections so that we can color our different colors accordingly. So we've decided what we're gonna do is make this gallon of the icing. We had 2 of these gallon-sized bags. This one is going to just be our base color, which is going to be a light blue on all of the cakes. And we are totally winging this, so we're just going to figure it out. I'm going to start with the blue in this one. It's a little bit more purple in tone, so I'm hoping that'll cancel out a bit of our yellow that we have going on with the buttercream. Buttercream tastes amazing, but it does have that buttery tint to it. I would like to summon Tori, please.
Reporting for duty?
My necklace can, if you will.
Oh, okay.
We'll get you guys a little bit of a different angle.
Well, it will.
All right, welcome to the inside of the mixing bowl. So I've got my dark blue coloring. Obviously, dark is relative. The more we use, the darker it will get. But if we use a little less, hopefully we'll be able to get just a nice light blue with that good tone. We're gonna start very small. These dyes are pretty concentrated. I'm sure we will need more than that, but we're gonna let it be gradual. Since our dark blue here is not purple, we gotta kind of cancel out that yellow tone. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of red to this as well to work on that balance a little bit, and then we'll bring it up to that light blue. It's a really nice, ugly, greeny color right now. Hopefully we can pull it bluer. I do think our red will help with that.
What is it that Julie says? I'm leaving it in your capable hands.
Yes. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of the classic blue as well. I don't want it to get too dark leaning, but I do like the purpleness of that dark blue. There we go. All right, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy with that blue, so I think we'll use this as our base for all of our cakes. We're gonna have to gently stack all of these. We have several here before us, and level them to the best of our ability too. All right, we've got this here somewhat close to level. Good enough for what we can do tonight. And we're gonna put these middle layer of icing on here to glue it to the top layer. It is really, really important to make sure that these tiers are very cool before you start on this, or else that butter and the buttercream will melt. This first layer is called a crumb coat for a reason. I'm not worried about all the crumbs that are getting into this on this portion, but whenever we come back over the top, I will be more careful to make sure that it doesn't mix with that lower layer. And we have the bottom portion of tier 1 done. Now we just have to stack the top portion of tier 1 on top of it, and then we'll try to level it too. I probably should level it before I stack it. Will that actually happen? We'll wait and see. Well, not leveling at 1, I'm just gonna try and set it down on here with my rack still on it, and gently pull this off. Beautiful. All right, and now I'm gonna try and level that one too. This is the best part because the more out of level it is, the more offcuts you get to eat early. So we'll just take any portions that have some space, fill them with more icing, it'll make them better, and try to get this as level as we can. All right, layer 2 is now on. So we're going to crumb coat all of this, take this center portion that's got some gaps and try and fill all of that in. And then the crumb coat will hopefully keep the actual pretty top coat from getting crumbs in it. I don't think we have enough for the top tier at this point. I'd like to take this moment to remind you we're not bakers. All right, that's the first coat on tier 1 done. All right, tier 1 is done. We've got a few crumbs here and there, but overall, I think we're doing pretty good, and we're not bakers, so we're trying to do the best we can with what we got. And I think it turned out pretty good. What do you think, Tori?
I think it's pretty good. It's how you know it's homemade.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So let's work on tier 2 now. And we may have to do a lot of this off camera because structural things are always a little bit difficult, but I'm gonna take this off and put it on our final cake board, and then we'll put the second tier on top of it whenever it's ready. All right, tier 2. So we're getting lower than I would like on the blue icing. We're gonna try and do the very best we can to keep this crumb layer very light, and then get that top layer on top in as efficient a manner as possible. And then we'll get to piping. Second part of the top tier is now stacked on the first part of the top tier. We did have to go ahead and mix up another batch of this blue, but that'll be okay because we can turn it into the PEX blue if we need to later. I think that the icing's color match is actually pretty good, so I'm happy with that. The top tier is iced. It shaped up pretty well, I think, but now comes the scary part. We're gonna have to stack this on the other tier. Now we're gonna use an old trick that's gone around online quite a bit. We are going to use boba straws and cut them off at the length that we need, and then stick this on top. I do have a cake board underneath this, so hopefully everything will go on well, but the problem is making sure that you don't mess up the icing beyond repair. So hold your breath with me as we put this top tier together.
I am certainly holding mine. Also, this is hefty. Like, that's heavy.
Uh-huh. It's a pretty good sized cake. Right about there.
Sure, we can ice over it if it's too far out. I love how it's PEX inside and out, even though hopefully no one will see this.
I did do that on purpose. Okay, so now we will take these and bring them up just a little bit
To the icing line.
to the icing line. Okay, cue the suspenseful music now.
So glad this is her job.
Can you steady underneath?
Yes.
Keep the, plate secured there.
Don't worry about me. The cake is your only concern.
It's kind of suctioned down. Oh my goodness, it's so heavy. Okay. How is that so heavy?
How are these tiers so close in size?
Well, we have a gaping hole over here, but aside from that, we're pretty good.
How are they so close in size?
I know. It's like two evenly sized tiers
It
here.
just looks really chunky.
She's a chunky cake. All right. Well, crisis averted. Is it centered on each other or on the board? No, but we are not going to worry about that. It's almost 8.
7:50. Yep.
7:50 p.m. and we were supposed to be out of here a couple of hours ago. So we're just going to say that that's incredible. I mean, for 2 amateurs,
Almost 3 hours.
yeah. All right. Well, the most stressful part of my job is done, at least. At this point, it's just kind of a matter of will we have enough icing to decorate the cake? And if we don't, it's just not a super decorated cake. So I am happy. I'm very happy.
A good amount of icing left for the cake.
My disposition has just improved greatly.
I think mine is sleep deprivation induced, but close enough.
We have our blue mixed up here. This is a coupler from my mom's piping set. I'm gonna try and cut the bag at the right length. That's always a tough one. And the coupler lets us switch out the tips without having to dig through the icing in the bag. So if we do decide to change the size, then we'll be able to do that easily. All right, so none of our stuff is perfectly centered here. Hopefully visually it all balances out or something.
It's part of the charm.
Yeah, it says that it's handmade. We didn't just go to some store and get this cake. No siree.
Would it have been more time effective? Look better? I think that's besides the point. Pretty sure it's beside the point.
Oh man, we got some unmixed stuff. It looks like a cat.
Oh,
It looks like a cat.
Hold on, let me see.
It looks like a cat.
Yeah, you're really tired. Okay.
All right,
See you later.
I'm just gonna go at it. We're just gonna start piping all willy-nilly. Some of our PEX pipes are a little lumpy, and that's okay.
Are you gonna write anything on it? Like words?
I've been trying to decide that. Okay, here's, we'll turn around so far. We got plumbing, appliances, HVAC, and over here's electrical. 1921 going up over the side. 105 years. Sherman's going down this side. 13 hours into this project. All of our devices are out of battery. We're running very low on battery ourselves, but 13 or 14.
13 for real?
Pretty much. We started this just before 8 this morning.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we have red. It is red. Oh no. Oh, that does so
that
much.
helps so much.
Okay, unfortunately, all of our batteries are dying so much that I'm afraid this is going to be our last video update in this video. But here we have the cake, and I will put some pictures of it finished here at the end. Thank you for joining us. I'm very pleased with how this has turned out, really. I mean, we are not professionals, but I think that it's turned out pretty well. So here's the finished product.